coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godwin and Charles Davis.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the former Texas Christian University Horned Frog, Andy Dalton.
We're not even a quarter way into the season. He's already off to a pretty nice start. NFC Offensive Player of the Week in last week's game.
Yeah, week 2, he was electric. Let's see what week 3 has in store.
Guys up! Lead! Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Play action here with Dalton. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
Let's go!
The numbers for Travis Kelce last week. 11 catches, 109 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that he's off to a hot start here in his first month, and those are the kind of performances you expect to see going forward.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Dalton now to pass. This is caught. It's Ryan Grant. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
The play and production of tight end Travis Kelce demands that we talk about him even more. Not only is he now a perennial all-pro and Pro Bowl type player, he's one of those guys that makes defenses adjust each and every time he's on the field. And while they do that, he still finds ways to beat them downfield.
Now McKinnon. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. A look at the defensive starters now for the Raiders. They were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And he'll have his man, that's Edelman. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert him to being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
A big third down pickup of 20 yards.
Okay, I'm not so great at math, but I just looked over at our statistician, Marvin, and he signaled to me 5 for 5 to get things started here on this opening drive. Where I come from, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, what do you do defensively to adjust?
Well, this is where you've got to make a decision as a defensive coordinator. Do you really get after the quarterback? Or maybe you tighten down on the receivers, bump them off of their routes, chip away at their timing so things aren't as precise as they...
And he will score! Touchdown, Vikings! Jerick McKinnon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What the columnists write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
And we look at this offense now, and Zach Martin will be important for this team today.
He's so good, Brandon, that you can play him at any position, the offensive line, and I think he's a Pro Bowl player at each spot.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll try the left side. It's Hines, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Hines. On the stop there defensively, Marcus May with the tackle. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
And when you're getting ready to face the number 1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And now Murray's going to set up to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks. And Anthony Barr just has it all as far as I'm concerned in terms of physique, athletic ability, And now he's versatile as well. When he came out of UCLA, he played outside linebacker, but also down defensive end. The Vikings.
And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. The 30, the 20. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Huge, huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to reach.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Extra point try, good by Gano. And that'll make the score 14-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A gain of 12.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. This is Hines. And an alley to run. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
On 2nd and 11 now. Murray. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room that if you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. 2nd down, McKinnon. And an alley to run. And they'll get him down up past the 15. A gain of 13. It's a first down. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
On first down, McKinnon again. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. In on the tackle there, Bobby Wagner coming off a 3rd straight All-Pro season.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Taken from just outside the 30. Touchdown, Oakland. Boston Scott, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels. Right away, wondering where it's going to come from. This group is well organized, well coached, confident in what they do.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And finding Edelman underneath, that's a recipe for success.
Typical route for a good slot receiver, and Edelman's one of the best in the game. Knows how to go in.
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Second down, Murray sets to throw. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us down chuck with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Check 13! Check 13! Go! 51! Strip the ball! Strip that ball!
They do go for it. It's Murray. It's caught. Jones. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Julio Jones. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. A gutsy call, 4th and short. They go for it. Look at the result.
Yeah, not only did they go for it, they threw for it. Because to me, it was stacked up for a run situation. Strength on strength, and they decided to put the ball in the air. And what a result. Big-time play.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Getting ready to go again. Here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting the lead. So you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Tackles! Watch the safety creep!
Dalton off play action. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Bobby Wagner, the former 2nd rounder out of Utah State, with a sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Check, tight right.
Third and long. What will Dalton dial up? And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, where they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. Renfro bringing it in over the middle.
An eligible receiver downfield. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Still 2nd down.
On 2nd down, here's Murray. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, but they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Murray going to throw. It's caught. Nelson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion. From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. And now look at him go. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Throwing on 1st down is Murray. Caught by Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Caught on the right side by Jones. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Andy Dalton. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He had no options downfield there and just chucked it out of bounds.
There was no one open. He was in the pocket. Where was the intentional grounding call?
Oh, you wanted the flag?
Of course I did. I'm a defensive guy. You know that. Where was the flag? The officials point out that someone was in the area. He got away with one.
2nd down and goal. Dalton. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Ryan Grant. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. Gano for the extra point. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. Murray now on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break. Anything
helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the 2nd half.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. 13 seconds, the time remaining in the half as they come up on 1st down. Well, indeed, trying to run it out as they start on the ground. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll begin with a rematch from the AFC Divisional Round last year. Baltimore once again traveling to Arrowhead to take on Kansas City. And they are seconds away from halftime, all tied in that one. From there, let's head over to New Era Field to see what's happening with the Bills. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. 2 touchdown passes there for Teddy Ballgame. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And they trail the visiting Denver Broncos in that one. Stephon Diggs, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards the pickup there.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
You go tight. You got it.
First down, Murray. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to the air on second down, it's Murray. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Julio Jones, his Pro Bowl receiver, and it's 3rd down.
And now offensively, it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now, the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Murray now to throw. Oh, he's going to go for it all. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half.
Check right 54. Right 54.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage just comes through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Dalton bootlegs out. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
A game there of 30 big ones.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one goes for 24 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Here's McKinnon, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guy...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Jerick McKinnon. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Murray now on first down. The left side completion to Jones. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Miles Jack with a sack.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of...
And the pressure gets to him again. Pernell McPhee, always a threat to find the QB, and he gets to him there.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away.
That's it, baby. We gon' punt.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur. Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Third and short, McKinnon. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And he's going to be intercepted at